There's something no one tells you about what really happens when a narcissist loses control over you. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it because it's not what you think. They don't move on, they don't forget you, and they definitely don't feel nothing. In fact, the moment you stop chasing is the moment something breaks, but not in the way you expect. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's internal, and it starts with something they can't control: panic. But here's the part most people miss: they won't show it, not at first, because a narcissist doesn't react immediately. They calculate. And what they do first will look completely harmless. That's where people get trapped, because the first move doesn't look like manipulation. It looks small, insignificant, almost accidental. A message, a reaction, a random comment, something that makes you think. Maybe it means nothing, but it doesn't mean nothing. It means everything, because this is where they test you, not emotionally, strategically. They're asking one question without saying it: do I still have access to you? And your response answers everything. If you react, even slightly, you lose something you don't realize yet: control, because now they know you're still available, still reachable, still engaged. And once they confirm that, everything else becomes easier. But if you don't respond, if you stay silent, if you stay grounded, something shifts. And this is where it gets dangerous for them, because now they don't know where you stand. And a narcissist cannot operate without certainty. So they escalate, but not how you expect. They don't attack, not yet. They soften, they become everything you once wanted. And this is where most people break, because suddenly they sound different, calmer, kinder, more aware. They say the things you waited so long to hear, and for a moment, it feels real. That's not an accident. That's the trap. Because what they're doing here is not reconnecting, they're repositioning. They are trying to re-enter your space without resistance. And if you don't see this clearly, you'll think, maybe this time's different. But let me show you something. That changes everything. If someone only changes when they're about to lose you, they didn't change. They adjusted temporarily. And temporary change always reveals itself, but not immediately. That's why it works. That's why people fall for it. Because it feels just real enough to believe, and just subtle enough to doubt yourself. So now you're stuck between two thoughts. What if they really changed? And what if this is the same pattern again? That confusion is exactly where they want you, because confusion keeps you engaged, and engagement is control. But here's where it starts to collapse. If you don't react, if you don't lean in, if you don't take the bait, something cracks, not in the situation, in them. Because now they've tried subtle, they've tried emotional, and neither worked. So they switch again. And this next move is where most people get pulled back without even realizing it. Because now it's not about you anymore. It's about everyone else. They start creating a narrative indirectly, carefully, publicly. And if you don't understand this phase, you'll walk right into it. This is where the game changes, because now they stop trying to reach you directly and start trying to reach you through perception, through what others see, through what others think. Because if they can't control you privately, they'll try to control how you're seen publicly. And this part is subtle but powerful. Posts that seem random but aren't. Phrases that look general but aren't. Messages that aren't sent to you but are meant for you. And here's the dangerous part. You'll feel the urge to respond, to explain, to defend yourself, to correct the story. And if you do, you lose again. Because the moment you react, you confirm something, that you are still emotionally involved, and that's all they need. But if you don't, if you stay silent, if you let the narrative exist without stepping into it, something unexpected happens. They lose momentum because manipulation requires participation. And without your participation, they're left performing for no one. That's when frustration builds. And when frustration builds, they escalate again. This time, they go louder. They create an illusion that's hard to ignore. They show you or try to show you that they've already moved on. And this is where it hits most people, because now it looks real. New person, new energy, new life. Everything seems better, upgraded, complete. And here's the open loop most people never close. If they're so happy, why are they still trying to be seen? Because real peace is quiet. Real healing is invisible. Real growth doesn't need an audience. So if it looks loud, if it looks exaggerated, if it looks perfectly timed, it's not closure, it's performance. Designed for one thing, your reaction. Because if you react here, you re-enter emotionally. Comparison, doubt, insecurity. And once that happens, they regain influence. But if you don't react, if you detach completely, this is where things turn. Because now they've tried everything: subtle access, emotional pull, public pressure, illusion of moving on. And none of it worked. So they go for something deeper, something harder to resist, guilt. And this is where even strong people break. Because now it sounds different, softer, more vulnerable, more human. They don't accuse directly, they imply. You changed, you disappeared, you gave up. And suddenly, you feel something. Not love, responsibility. And that's the trap. Because if you feel responsible, you feel the need to respond, to explain, to justify, to fix. And the moment you do that, everything resets. But here's the truth that breaks the entire cycle. You're not responsible for how someone feels when they lose control over you. Read that again. Because once you understand that, guilt stops working. And when guilt stops working, they lose their final leverage. So what happens next? They disappear. But not in the way you think. Not closure, not acceptance. Observation, silent, distant, watching, waiting. And here's the part that almost no one sees. This is when they study you the most. Because now they need to know, is this real? Did I actually lose access? Or is this temporary? And if they find even the smallest opening, they come back. But here's what almost no one realizes. Sometimes they don't come back right away. And that silence, it's not weakness, it's strategy. Because when a narcissist feels like direct access won't work, they don't chase harder. They disappear longer, just long enough and for you to start questioning yourself. And this is the part that traps even aware people. Because time passes and nothing happens. No messages, no signals, no noise. And your mind starts filling the gap. Maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe they really moved on. That's not healing. That's withdrawal. From a cycle, you are conditioned to stay inside. And the longer the silence lasts, the stronger that feeling becomes. Until one day, out of nowhere, they reappear. Calm, casual. Almost like nothing ever happened. And that moment, that's the real test. Not when they were loud, not when they were obvious, But now, when everything feels neutral, because now your guard is lower, your emotions are quieter, and your brain is looking for closure. And they know that, so they don't come back with intensity. They come back with familiarity. A simple message, a hey, a reaction, something so small you feel silly ignoring it. But that small moment is the door. And once you open it, even just a little, everything starts rebuilding, not the relationship, the cycle, piece by piece, layer by layer, until you're right back where you fought so hard to leave. And that's why this phase is the most dangerous of all, because it doesn't feel like manipulation, it feels like coincidence, but it's not, it's timing. And if you understand that, you break something permanently, because now you don't just see their patterns, you anticipate them. And when you can anticipate, you don't react. And when you don't react, there's nothing left for them to control. Not changed, not different, just time better. That's why this phase is dangerous, because it feels like nothing is happening, but everything is happening. And if you hold your ground here, if you stay unavailable, if you don't break your own boundary, something final happens. They replace you, fast, publicly, intensely. And this is where most people misunderstand everything, because it looks like you've been forgotten, but you haven't. You've been bypassed. There's a difference, because replacing someone is easy. Replacing control over someone who woke up is impossible. And that's what stays with them, not you as a person, you as a loss of control. And that is what they can't fix. So while you move forward, they repeat. Same pattern, different face, same cycle, different story. Trying to recreate something that only worked when you didn't see it, but now you do. And once you see it, you can't go back, because now you don't just understand them, you understand the game. And the moment you understand the game, you stop playing. And that is the only move they can't control.